All right. Oh, it's good to be back. It's good to be back with everybody.
Yeah.
Welcome, ladies and gents. This is Gymleadernate, the newest host here on No Dumb Idea. And I'm going to be steering the episode this time. Just going to give everybody a warning because I know you're awfully used to some other voices beginning at the start of your weekly podcast. So those other voices are still here, though. They've gone nowhere. And we, of course, have...
We have gone
Dala
nowhere.
With me.
Yeah, we've done
Dala,
nothing
Gibbledang
with
here.
our lives.
Unfortunately, they will always be sticking around.
Damn it.
Hell yeah.
Hey, guys. Hi, it's me, Dala.
And Gibbledang here. It's been a good one. Yeah. Good week. Good week since last, I guess, episode 17. And hey, we made it to 18 episodes. The podcast
we can drink now, legally.
Yeah, the podcast is old enough to vote. And maybe drive.
In Europe.
Yeah, in Mexico. Hell yeah.
Yeah, everywhere it counts. Where it matters.
Yeah.
But yeah, today's going to be interesting.
I'm excited for this premise.
This is going to be fun. Today we're going to be talking all about sequels, series, cycles, prequels.
Cycles, bicycles, sidewalks.
Everything here, there, and in between.
Triquels.
Triquels.
Yeah, just the concept of a sequel, the necessity of a sequel, and, really what a revisit does for a franchise or pulls away from a franchise.
Before that, we should get into everyone's weeks.
I personally, I've been doing a lot of sacking out, just a lot of fucking.
No, that's fair.
Playing video games and playing Magic and.
Hell yeah!
A lot of Magic the Gathering.
What kind of deck do you have?
Honestly, it's the one that I've been having the most fun with is my red, blue, green deck that centers around playing things from anywhere that isn't my hand.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
What's so funny? For those that play MTG, we usually play Commander, and when Dala and I went to New Orleans, we picked up a Doctor Who collector booster pack for our friends, for Gymleadernate. And son of a bitch, if it didn't happen to have the 2 cards that he is now running and wiping the floor with everybody with. And
nice.
Immediately when I saw them, I was like,
regret it.
The power team.
No, it's good though. It's awesome. I'm glad that it's the Doctor Who cards, right? Which ones are they?
Yeah, the 13th Doctor and Yasmina Khan.
Yeah, goddamn. Every week we talk about Magic the Gathering.
Yeah, it's just
the transition
right now.
Yeah.
It's like it's a fixation at the moment. Yeah. It's like I am neck deep back in it, so it's hard.
Everyone else is getting back into it. Lag 9000 is getting back into it.
Yeah,
little crew. I just got a little deck from Gibbledang.
Yeah.
Bought you
now you have your tiny cards.
Yes. They're about an inch. They're
about to play.
They're about an inch tall.
I was telling Gibbledang, I was like, I legit think I will learn to play just so I could do one tournament match with them to piss people off, and then that'll probably be about it. Just because they're so small. I'll find out.
You gotta make sure you bring a magnifying glass, though.
Yeah. It'll be like around my neck.
Mm-hmm.
I saw a
just
video.
Lay it right on the table.
I saw a video today of this guy who, the title was, this player drove 500 miles to a MTG tournament just to lose in 2 turns.
God damn. That sounds like some of the Onion shit, honestly, though, but that's probably real.
Oh, very.
It's like me. It's like me. Going going to the shop a couple days ago to play the pre-release for the new set, and I got beat by a couple 12-year-olds.
And then I lost Magic after that.
Yeah, they beat me up real good.
Yeah,
They smoked all my cigarettes.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
That's so funny.
But nice.
it's like, yeah, no, that's pretty much it. And and like, I did like watch all of BoJack Horseman and finish that, which was really good.
I've never seen an episode. I know it's supposed to be like, it gets to a point where it's like hella depressing.
It's literally, yeah, it's very like all depressing.
Relatable.
Yeah, basically the whole entire show is like focused on making it so that you recognize the worst parts in yourself and the character.
Jesus
I was gonna say, if
Christ.
I wanted to watch a depressing show, I'd look in the mirror. I'm just kidding.
Ooh,
Yeah, if I wanted to watch a depression show, if never
A
mind.
Joe Pesci show. I would
If
watch
wanted to listen to
Goodfellas.
Depeche Mode.
There you go.
I'd put on The Cure. So yeah, my week. I guess not much else. Just kind of getting back into the swing of things from work. Still recuperating from New Orleans. Just not doing much. Playing a lot of Magic the Gathering. Unfortunately, I haven't really. I've been meaning to do some creative stuff, make some custom action figures. But yeah, I've kind of, it's so weird because I feel like I always focus on one thing at a time. Like right now, for my free time, I've been exercising more. I'm just trying to work out a little bit more. And usually,
Big, strong.
after that, or, there's months where like my whole thing is like, oh my God, I'm painting action figures. And then there's months where my whole thing is like, oh, I'm really into like working out or whatever, or like Magic the Gathering. You know what I mean? It's like these like changes in routines or whatever.
mm-hmm.
So it's a cool little trade-off, I guess.
It's not like I think we're all the same too in this group, at least, as far as like the hyper focus on that like hobby or interest or thing.
And then there's like a
usually
disruption.
one at a time.
Yeah,
There's like a disruption in the week, and then it like you fall off a little bit, and then it's all right. It happens.
We also had D&D.
D&D. We did have
We
D&D.
finally got to D&D, and that was sick.
Yeah, we haven't played D&D in about. I don't even know if it's been a month.
Like a month.
It has been
like
a month. Yeah.
wow. I didn't even realize.
And we got back into it. Big time. Fun. Very fun.
It was like 3 weeks off, so like 4 months since we played, or 4 weeks since we played last.
4 Jesus.
That would be all right, guys. You remember what happened last session?
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah. Nice.
How about you, Dala?
Well,
Sorry, you were
no,
not done.
no, it's me. Move on. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, I got one more thing.
You're
Today
good.
I watched The Curse, a new HBO
nice.
series from Nathan Fielder, Benny Safdie, and well, I don't know if Emma Stone's like producing it as well, but she's like a star.
Yeah, and she's also in it.
I just saw a clip from that.
Benny Safdie being one of the directors behind it's the Safdie brothers. They made like Uncut Gems, Good Times. Fuck, there's another one too. Like they make really good, tense, fast-paced kind of movies.
Stressful
And
movies.
Very stressful. And Nathan Fielder, he created Nathan for You. Hilarious show.
Rehearsal.
And The Rehearsal.
Mm-hmm.
Both are amazing.
so
The
good.
Rehearsal, so much more psychological than Nathan for You, but they're both awesome. They're both amazing. Really funny, really really nice cringe humor. The Curse, so he's actually acting. It's
For once. No, I'm just
a
kidding.
dramedy, I guess. It's not like it's not funny, but it's not like there are humor in this. There's humor in the situations that's happening.
There's more drama
basically-
than normal.
Nathan Fielder and Emma Stone are married, and they play like this married couple that's having a documentary filmed about them, and the documentary filmmaker, real piece of shit, who's also Benny Safdie, the one of the directors for Uncut Gems. And they play, I think they're realtors or property managers, but they're essentially gentrifying a like small community in, I think it's in California, I don't know where, but they're gentrifying this small community. And there's a lot of cringiness from them just being like having these inflated Hollywood egos. Like, wow, I shouldn't say inflated Hollywood egos, but they're very like opportunistic. It's very cringy, very cringy. It's gonna be a good series for sure.
They're hungry capitalists.
Yeah, especially the documentary filmmaker who's just looking to just exploit everything he can. Not really a spoiler, but there's a scene where like it cuts to Nathan Fielder pissing, and you see his dick. You see his dick. And
what?
like it pans up. It pans up. And I'm just like, at first I'm like, what the fuck? Like, no fucking way. But then I'm also like, that was the tiniest dick I've ever seen. Like, it was like, it really was like a little button, or like a, it was like, I had to look away and be like, okay, I just saw Nathan's dick. That's really weird. Also,
I wonder if it was actually his dick or if it
very-
was like a prop.
so the next scene
Uh-huh.
talks about how like he's talking with his wife's dad, so his father-in-law, and like there's a really uncomfortable talk about like, hey, I know that you have a small dick, like don't worry, I have a small dick too. So I was like, oh, okay.
What the
That was
hell?
most likely a prosthetic. That was
I
most
love that.
likely a
That's-
prosthetic dick.
It's literally part of the plot.
It was part of
Yeah.
the plot, but it was something that caught me so off guard that I was like, Jesus Christ, like what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
Very cringy show. It's fun. It's if you like Nathan Fielder stuff, I really recommend it.
Oh yeah. He's my favorite Conan appearance on Conan O'Brien back in the day.
Where he
I used
brings
to love Conan.
Susan Sarandon.
Oh, that one's good too. The one I was talking about, I think it was on maybe it was somewhere else, but where he's showing off his like watch or something, and every reflection of every photo you can see is like he's looking at porn.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So he's like he's taking a selfie, and it's like
He's like,
sunglasses
"Look at my
reflects.
watch."
Yeah, look at my
And
watch,
then-
and it's like porn.
There's one who's like, look at this CD, and there's one who's like, look at this butter knife. And the butter
It's like
knife.
it's like it's like the stupidest shit to hold up. So good.
Oh, alternatively, he had one where it was like, he's like, hey guys, look at this new selfie, and like on the table, like it's propped up, is a book that says something like either how to kill yourself or how to deal, or like how to plan your suicide or some shit like that.
What the hell?
How
He's
to
fun.
plan your suicide so it looks like a murder.
Ooh. And blame it on your wife, Emma Stone, particularly.
There you go. That's spoilers. We
Oh, sorry.
made up the ending.
Yeah.
What about you, Dala? How's your week been? What have you been
Good,
up to?
good. If listeners made it this far, happy Thanksgiving week. It's the week of Thanksgiving. I do
Is
want
that
to.
a thing? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Do they still
Right?
do that?
Somewhere. I think they do it in China. In China. No, it's like a little Thanksgiving gift, I guess, because that's what we do. I wanted to recommend some horror Thanksgiving movies that I recently seen. Just real brief. There was 2 I watched on purpose, and then a third one I found coincidentally. The first 2 are slashers, just Blood Rage. Great, perfect, best. It's like the equivalent of like Halloween, but for Thanksgiving. And fucking hilarious. The other one, Mutilator, which is called Falls Break, is kind of like more debatable because it's like it takes place in fall. I guess it's less of a Thanksgiving movie particularly, but it is a solid horror slasher movie.
Solid.
So, yeah, solid. I'd highly recommend. The other one, I just watched this movie coincidentally. It turns out it takes place in November. Is Idle Hands, which was a fucking interesting one. It literally starts off, he's like, oh man, it's the day after Halloween. Like, we got to start putting our decorations. And
you're like, wait a minute. If that's the day after Halloween, and Halloween's the 31st, and today's the day, oh my god, that means it's Christmas.
That means it's, yeah. What do you target? Idle Hand's pretty solid. I'd recommend. Smoke weed, watch it. It's fucking so stupid. There's like a plot point. It's not...
Scared the shit out of me as a kid.
What part particularly? Do you
Really
remember?
There's the part with the vents, climbing through the vents that really sticks out in particular. I think just his hand in general, just the idea of the villainous, like I think it had, it sticks its finger in the pencil sharpener, and its nails get sharper.
It's so stupid.
It's fun.
It's very much a movie that was written to where like they're like making the plot as they go. It feels like there's a part, like, this is a small spoiler, I guess. Seth Green's in it, as well as, like, I forget the other guy, but the guy that plays Foggy Nelson. Yeah. But
the whole time
they die.
Seth Green until the end of the movie.
Ooh. But yeah, so they both die, and then later on you see them as like zombies. And the rationale for why they're back and no one else is that they just decided not to go to heaven. Like, they were like, yeah, there was like, it looked like they were singing Enya and it kind of sucked and it was kind of far. So we just, because they're all potheads, they're like, we just turned around and kind of came back. And it's like, okay. It's like logic like that, which just fucking doesn't make sense.
I'd fuck with Enya. I'd go up there and sing Enya with the angels.
With the angels?
Yeah. The Enya angels.
But it's too far, dude. It's too far. But no, it's good. I highly recommend those three. Blood Rage for sure, must watch for like Thanksgiving. Also Boneyard, if people. Reminder, that's also like a Thanksgiving movie as well, or like Thanksgiving adjacent.
Boneyard, the beautiful white whale of the podcast. Could I read something?
Sure.
A review I found from Boneyard.
From Boneyard, not about or to, but from. Go ahead.
Exactly. So there was the horror review that you found for Boneyard. There was one that I originally brought up.
The titular one.
The titular review that was like, 300-pound woman, whatever. You found that, and then you posted it, and, hardy har har, we all laugh. I look back, there is an older review.
That's not the same one?
It's not the same one.
What the hell?
September 1st, 2001. First of all, in 10 days, this guy's life was going to change. Second of all, the review, let's see. Not your usual horror film cast, but it works. The story centers on a 400-pound female psychic disheartened by the way her life is. So this guy added an extra 100 pounds to his review.
No, because that one's first, right? So she actually lost weight since then.
Oh, okay, true. Yeah,
that's how it works,
Yeah, I'm not going to read the entire thing, but I just think that's so funny.
Let's post that one too, shit. Why not? That's fucking great. Yeah. Okay. So just actually two quick things about that happened this week in the news, and gaming news particularly. I know, Gibbledang, you're very sad because the Golden Girls Take Manhattan video game actually got canceled. I know, I'm sorry.
Again?
Yeah.
There was a Golden Girls video game?
It was a fan game.
Look it up.
It was a fan game.
They robbed us of that so many times.
It was an RPG too, and apparently it looks, I saw pictures, it looks pretty cool, and sad, but
I wish I could stat a Golden Girl.
Yeah, max out. Fucking, I don't know, which one? Gibbledang?
Sarcasm. Max sarcasm.
Yeah.
I think stat, is stat like a sexual thing? Because I'd love to stat all of them too.
Ooh.
That's how you train them. The other thing too is, I don't know if you boys have heard about Silent Hill Ascension in the news, or if you even know anything about that.
No.
Mm-mm.
Okay, well,
I'm only interested if it's picking up the dregs of PT and making it a thing.
Ooh, it's probably the quite opposite. So basically,
just throwing it all away.
Oh, totally. Yeah, it's one of the worst pieces of shit ever. So it's a streaming episodic thing that you can pay to make choices in. Think like Telltale, but everyone basically puts points towards a decision, and then stupidly each decision is marked whether it's good, neutral, or bad, rather than kind of ambiguous, like on decision making. And so it's also, you can buy the points. So, you know, obviously if you want to just spend more, you can change the fucking tide of the thing. Also, it sucks. But they're streaming it over the course of, from I've heard, it sucks, I should say.
Also, it's all of that
Story.
sounds.
But okay, best part. The one part I wanted to mention. So it's streaming for like the next like couple months. Day one, there was 3 words in the chat like filter that like you can't use. Just 3 words. And they were Hideo Kojima, and then I think like some other like Hideo Kojima. Maybe, probably. So considering that's all, you know, the chat got disabled pretty fucking quick, and hence you can't vote for this game where the gameplay is you vote. It's so stupid. And then and then
it's genius, really.
The company's president came on and kind of was like holding like a thing, kind of saying like, no, it's cool. Like, we didn't plan for like any of this, that. And he straight up calls it like a scheme, like several times. He's like, yeah, like the paying to vote is scheme was meant to be. And it's like, I don't, you're choosing the wrong word there, bud. Like, so bad. I'm kind of stoked to like kind of keep up with it and like hear the news, but just, you know, terrible.
Damn.
Speaking of sequels, that's a franchise that's sequels, really fucked up.
They're flopping.
Oh yeah.
Hard flop alert.
But yeah, that's my my week was Silent Hill Ascension and Golden Girls suck.
Nice.
Yeah.
Damn.
Probably top tier week then, really.
Oh yeah, best week of my life. Would do it again.
As long as it involves the Golden Girls, really.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's probably kick things off. Let's start getting to the real meat of sequels and series and everything therein.
Can we get into the turkey gravy and all the other Thanksgiving feasts?
Ooh, all the fixings.
Oh yeah, faux turkey, vegan gravy,
faux gravy,
no butter, no dairy, mashed potatoes.
Nice faux grandpa for our uncle.
The best. Yeah. Oh my god. See, that's my current Thanksgiving. That's how I actually do Thanksgiving. Faux family, straight right away.
Oh, hire a family. I pay them to tell me good things.
Isn't that what it is when we do Thanksgiving and just buy beer for each other?
Yeah, true.
All right. So right away, the first thing I wanted to make sure we got to was, franchises that we believe should get a sequel or should have had a sequel by now that already exist, or even like singular installments of something that really you feel should have gotten a sequel. So just to like give a good flavor to what I'm talking about, what I'm going to start off with is a game that I just replayed with my girlfriend, Detroit Become Human.
Ooh.
One of my favorite games ever made. A story like choice making game that's made by Quantic Dream.
Yeah. And
who are now working on a Star Wars game.
Yeah, I was about to bring that up.
It's gonna be I'm so excited for that. But the Detroit Become Human was a really, really fun experience. I really like that game. I've played it probably 5 times now.
Nice.
And it just builds a really fun world that I think would be really nice to see again. Especially with the updates and like possibly making it Mass Effect style, where what you did in the previous game and the final save that you left on your previous game affects where the world picks up when you start the new game. Like they did with, I think that was between Mass Effect 2 and 3. Yeah, I think right away that is a game that I've always, it's been out like for over 10 years now.
Yeah.
And I really would, crazy long. I would love to see that revisited. Right away, that's my number one. Just great world with AI consciousness inside of these androids, and makes for a wonderful and interesting setting.
I will say too, because they haven't done any sequels. Like I love Heavy Rain. It got like a DLC. I remember, like prequel kind of. But that would be kind of cool, yeah, to like expand and then keep it going. I mean, I think that's probably from what I've seen, because it's funny. This is one of those games where it's like you watch a Let's Play and it's like, all right, I've played Detroit. I played one run of it in a sense. But I remember watching through it and being like, oh shit, this is pretty cool. And I feel like that's a world you can for sure expand upon without problem. Where like Heavy Rain, it's like, unless it's another killer and like kind of unrelated, other than maybe the detective or something, But yeah, shit, that's a good one.
So after Detroit Become Human came out, what else did they make?
I don't think Quantic Dreams come out with a new one since then, have they?
I think like
Until Star
VR
Wars.
little things or something. I would Google it if I could, but no, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
No, but
I couldn't say, yeah.
I think it's a bunch of small, because also David Cage, who's the director, got in a lot of like legal trouble, so they've probably been just trying to separate themselves from that. They done Heavy Rain, Beyond Two Souls, which Beyond Two Souls burned me, so that's why I never played Detroit. But Detroit looks good, so yeah.
I'd highly recommend, if you feel like doing another choice making game, to give a try to Detroit, especially because I think like total hours of gameplay to finish that story is something around like 16 hours. Like it's not a long game. So it's definitely a fun playthrough. And I have the disc. If you have a PS4 or a PS5, I can just give you the disc.
You're talking about the listeners, right? Listeners, if you have a PS4,
yeah,
PS5.
everybody, we'll pass it around.
Share.
Yeah, honor system.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll work out.
I will say, like, off of that, I think it's Supermassive is the company. They're the ones that did like The Quarry and like the Dark Pictures anthology Until Dawn. I really love their games. And I love the Dark Pictures anthology because it's like shorter. They're like 4 hours still, but shorter games where it's like a one-off short story. Like I was playing one of the newer ones, and it was like vampires in Israel, fucking Israel underground, like during 2001 or so, like that time period.
Damn.
It's cool, and it was a good story. And I mean, I don't think they're done. I mean, I'm hoping that series continues. I mean, I definitely hope Supermassive, or whatever the name of the company is, just kind of continues with them too, because those choice making games are, I don't know, horror's a good one for it. Like, yeah.
True. It builds suspense a lot, because like it's almost like horror's like the number one, I feel like is the number one genre where people like want to put themselves like say that like that they could have made better choices than the people in the story. So like putting people behind the choice making in a game, I feel like horror is like perfect for that, because instinctually people are like, I could have gotten out of there, I could have gotten alive. Well,
and like the stress, like now you're in stress, like, oh god, yeah. Like my favorite thing about like those or PT is like making other people play and just watching them play PT, or PT
is
which
I
I guess
that when I was playing PT. Dala made PT, and I was like, nope, I can't do this.
I had to get someone else to like guide me to how to beat it, because I was there's no way I'm gonna understand how to.
Everyone looked it up when they had to beat like the first time, So but no, I mean, shit. That's being said, I guess that'll be in my other springboard. Is Silent Hill really needs to get their shit together? I love Silent Hill. If Gibbledang's known for Resident Evil, I'm known for Silent Hill, but Silent Hill sucks ass since 3, which is like a long time ago.
Yeah. Damn. Truly tragic. Definitely something with a lot of potential for expansion in a good direction that they just don't know how to handle it for some reason. They just
flub it
in the bag.
Oh,
it's fun. Funny enough, I could only really think of movies. I mean, apart from BioShock, which I think is getting a sequel. Any other games that I think? Well, I'll keep thinking about the games, but off the top of my head, Dread really needed a sequel. That was one that I think they announced like 2 or 3 different kinds of like, we're going to be doing an animated series. Oh, we're going to be doing a movie. Oh, we're going to be doing a sequel show. And I don't think anything has ever came about. And it's crazy because that movie was kind of like ghost directed. I don't know who was the actual director, but the screenwriter is Alex Garland. And he fucking wrote like Ex Machina, I think he did the Devs series for like FX. Really great, like really talented screenwriter, and he basically ghost directed Dread. Like there's a lot of points where he had to like be behind the camera,
Like jump in and help out or save it or something.
Yeah, and a sequel would be like, because they have, I mean, it'd be so fun to see like Judge Death, the Judge Dredd,
good.
Judge Dredd from another dimension, who literally, I think everything is a crime sentenced. I think life is
By
a
death.
crime sentenced to death. So he goes around just killing everybody. It's
Basically.
insane.
Nice.
That would have been.
It's like Santa Claus from Futurama.
Yeah. Oh my god, I love Santa Claus from Futurama. It's so good. Santabot
I don't know how, like,
or Xbot.
you know, I haven't seen Futurama. I haven't seen that one in particular.
Solid.
Santabot or Xbot.
Yeah, Christmas is only referred to as Xmas because it's the day where like a target gets put on your back because Xbot, like the Santabot, goes from house to house killing people.
Well, no, it was like they built a
Right.
robot to be Santa Claus, but then they
Yeah.
put the expectation too high for like naughty or nice,
Naughty and nice.
or for naughty,
Right.
and so he thinks
And so he was,
everyone's
like,
naughty.
punishing naughty.
Yeah. He's like, "Oh, you littered a thing. And he like kills like is this thing too."
Yeah. And so they all call it, because I just
Like-
remember the one thing is that they all call it Xmas
Yeah.
specifically.
Oh, and they use pine trees or not pine palm trees because the pine trees were like
They attract him or something.
yeah, it was so good, so funny, such a good show. That needs a sequel. No, I'm just kidding. That doesn't need any sequels.
That show
That's the
needs-
one that needs to stop.
Futurama does not need
That
to
show
be
needs
touched.
a sixth
Just stop.
revival.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how they would bring him in though, because he's like an extra dimensional fucking character, and the Dread
Yeah,
movie
multiverse.
was. The Dread movie was
These-
kind of realistic, but you know what? It did have a girl who
Yeah.
had psychic powers, so that's not really.
It had a girl. Ew. Yeah.
These days, I feel like it's so easy to just have like for suspension of disbelief, and be like,
Yeah.
some crazy mumbo jumbo happened. He came from another dimension, and now there's been so many movies that do that. Now everybody's just gonna be like,
Yeah.
yeah, sure.
They could probably do like a scene where it's like
Multiverse.
a guy makes like a portal on accident, or maybe on purpose,
Literally.
and then it just I didn't know it's death or hell or something. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Real quick, I wanted to interject actually real quick too, because I in preparation of this bit, I did look up what is the first movie sequel, and I was surprised because it was a sequel to a movie I had seen for a film class in undergrad.
Oh.
A movie that I do not like.
Citizen Kane 2.
Yes, no.
Jaws 2.
Ooh, closer. The movie's called The Fall of a Nation, which is a sequel to The Birth of a Nation.
Oh,
If you don't know,
Oh, Birth of a Nation.
that's the first movie with a sequel. Jesus Christ.
yeah, I had to watch it, not knowing the context.
I had to watch that in a history class.
What
I
the?
think I've seen
Okay.
It
Well,
was in like a unit about about history retelling.
gotcha.
Like
That
about,
makes
just
yeah.
about like the communication of history and how how different you can spin things.
Yeah.
This.
For listeners, this movie is about if the South had won, and
Yes.
portrays that universe in a non-polite way.
The funniest thing about that movie is that people in the KKK used that in complete seriousness,
Like as the historical,
as look how
evidence.
hilarious this movie. Yeah, like look how hilariously accurate this movie is. Like it gives us the
God.
yucks. Like we're all cackling at how great this is, and
Jesus.
like that. It's a whole plot point in Black Klansman where
Oh,
where they
okay.
talk
I'll have to
about
check
that
that out.
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
movie, if you haven't seen Black Klansman, big recommend. It is a really fucking
Sequel?
good movie.
Should I get a sequel?
should I get a sequel?
Should Black Klansman
Blacker
get a
Klansman?
sequel?
Black Klansman or more man.
That one part in Aubrey Plaza's speech where she's like, Black Klansman was an amazing movie, talking about race and about the injustices Black people face in rural America. And that's why I'm so happy to announce that the one actor from Black Klansman to receive their nomination today, Adam Driver.
Oh man.
Yeah. And it was like everyone was just like, oh.
What's that from?
Yeah, No shit.
It was like from the Oscar, like from
Oscars,
like
yeah.
while she was
from
on
the
stage at the
oh
Oscars.
god.
And
Okay.
literally-
So I thought that was
She
like a
pointed
bit.
out that he was the only one. I think he was like the only actor
The
who
lead-
was
That
up
was
for
like
an
a-
the
award.
fucking
Yeah.
lead actor is Denzel
Jesus.
Washington's son.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
And then Spike Lee was up for Best Director, I think, for it. But yeah,
I thought
he
that was
the
from like
only-
Parks and Rec or some shit. Jeez.
No,
That's
Adam Driver
so
was
bad.
actually the only one.
Terrible.
I believe, if I remember correctly, I Google it, but
Yeah. But yeah, Fall of a Nation is the first movie sequel. So Birth of a Nation gave us a lot more than we expected, I guess. It gives like the first like film dissolves and shit like that, and editing style, and it's first sequel, so it's first franchise.
that is crazy. You know, it's honestly so nice that is a piece of knowledge that nobody knows.
Yeah.
Where it's like it actually can be known for something that like places it in history, but I'm glad that most people don't talk about that.
It's okay, I'll delete that from the podcast so no one else will know.
Yeah, we'll just have to do a quick edit.
Speaking of things nobody knows, I guess just sequel talk. There's a movie called Jangel that I watched long time ago about so it's a caveman, like this big freaking big caveman dude. I don't know if it's like a 90s or 80s movie.
Is this real?
So there's like this caveman.
That's why you don't want us to Google, because it's not. Go on.
There's a caveman that gets unearthed. He gets unearthed from like a block of ice, and
Django Unearthed, yeah.
Sorry, I just was like,
no, it's called Jangel, the beast from the
Django
east.
Unearthed. Oh.
And like, yeah, he's out in rural, fucking, I don't know. He's like a caveman that was unearthed in like the 90s, but it's in like the fucking, I don't know, Michigan or like some fucking,
One of those dumb states that
what
I'm
is
from.
dumb flyover states.
dumber. Yeah. The stupider. No.
And so, whatchamacallit? Yeah, so this caveman is like terrorizing the countryside, and the government is like, there's nothing we could do. We got to call this old man. And so they call this old man who's like he's like, oh my god, he's the best there is at what he does, and he's like this old cowboy dude. And he kind of corners the caveman into a ravine and shoots him, and then the caveman dies. Jangel dies.
Nice.
And then in part 2...
Ooh. Wait, who plays the caveman? Do you
I think
remember?
it was the real cave. I think it might have been a real caveman. This guy looks like a real caveman.
Yeah.
You better
Okay.
not be looking this up, Gymleadernate. You have a very intrigued face.
No, I'm just staring. I'm just
Yeah.
listening intently. This sounds insane. I'm just like, okay, so
Yeah,
the
yeah.
guy, so there's a caveman, then he died. He got shot. Okay.
And so there's a sequel. A bunch of traveling. I don't know if it's a circus, but a traveling circus is going around, and they find the caveman who is all shot up, and they're like,
That's
oh,
funny.
we have an idea. Let's wrap him up. They wrap up his whole body, and they're like, cool, we saved your life, caveman. Now you're gonna help us like commit robberies around the
Now
countryside.
he's a mummy.
Yeah, so now he's a mummy
Ooh.
caveman committing robberies around the countryside.
Nice.
And oh yeah, I forgot earlier in the first movie, the caveman fights a rubber snake after kidnapping a girl, kind of like King Kong.
Oh.
Mhm.
Very much a King Kong kind of scene. Flashback to the sequel. What else?
Are you just going to describe these whole movies in their
I
entirety?
know, I'm like, what's going on? This whole series. It's a 13 movie series too,
I
which is
think they
great.
bring back the.
Where's the one he goes to space?
That hasn't happened yet. But basically, I think they bring back the old detective from the first movie, and they cornered Jangel, but they're like, you know what? No, this guy deserves to be free, Jangel, be free. Go on, get. And Jangel runs away, I think.
I don't believe you. Once I'm allowed to Google things again, you're gonna be in so much trouble.
Ooh.
There's no way this is real.
Yeah.
Although it does sound eerily like Iceman with Donnie Yen. Only that's just the Kung Fu version.
I was thinking Encino Man at first, but I was like, where the fuck did this name come from?
Same exact thing.
I was thinking that episode of South Park where they find a caveman from the 90s, but he's only been frozen for like 3 years.
Oh yeah. It's just like a guy.
That was good.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, what about y'all?
Another sequel that I definitely want to talk about at least briefly is Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh yes.
And the new movie, because we've talked about that before, and how the new movie really did a great job and deserves a sequel.
Solid.
I just watched it again today.
Nice.
So for my film editing class, because we're gonna get to have a little like Q&A with the editor.
Ooh.
So
Bradley Cooper.
Be like,
Bradley Cooper, tiny Bradley Cooper.
Yeah. Wow.
Was Chris Pine that charming on set? It's like, I don't know. I'm the film editor.
Yeah. He looked good in the movie, though. I'll tell you that.
Were you just overwhelmed while editing with Chris Pine's vocal voiceover talent? Because apparently he is just... Or no, I'm thinking Chris Pratt now.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
I get the Chris's all mixed up.
Intertwined.
Although Chris Pine is also coming out in a brand new animated movie
Wish.
because he's in Wish.
God, like in TMNT, that one joke where it's like, come here, boys, Chris's. I have your favorite Chris's.
Yes, oh my God.
It's so good.
All right. Any other, another top thing, or do you have another sequel that should have been made?
Well, real quick, one that I was thinking that, I don't know if it's a sequel, but like a reboot I would love to see is maybe something for Dylan Dog, movie-wise.
We're not talking about reboots. This isn't the reboot. This isn't the reboot episode. Dude.
Fine, we'll make it a sequel, and then we'll get Brandon Roth back, and it'll suck.
Yes!
Yeah.
Actually, I would be down. Fuck it.
Woo! Woo! Let's do it.
Fuck it, get him back.
Be
get him
Ruth.
back. He sucks, but what else has he done?
Let's bring Ruth back.
Yeah. But yeah, that's all my sequels.
God, Dylan Dog is so terrible. Such a shitty
but
movie.
here's the other query. You know,
Ooh.
what are some sequels that you think, you know, were a very large detriment to a pre-existing IP and could have really gone better?
Silent Hill.
Because there's some sequels that are disappointing, and then there's others that like actively dismantle what has happened before. Sometimes on purpose, sometimes on accident.
Like I said, Silent Hill. Obviously, like I said. One that I think also really just wish didn't exist was like Alien Covenant. Mainly, I think because it sucked, it kind of hindered a lot of other projects that could have been, or potential.
Similarly, like Halloween. I think we were talking about this like when we were watching it in New Orleans. I think 4, 5, and 6... Or 4, 5, and 6. That's the Thorn trilogy. Yeah. In the 90s, they tried to introduce this cult. They didn't even have a plan. They were just introducing things. They tried to introduce a cult that was like, oh, we're trying to bring back this Celtic god. And I think that's kind of like what it was. It was like a Celtic cult that they basically created Michael, or they had Michael get possessed by some force or something like that they were going to pass down. But then there's also like Laurie Strode had a daughter, and you basically would follow that daughter in number 4, Halloween 4. She was like 12 years old, and then they age her up in Halloween
5. She's still about 12.
She's still about 12.
6, she's the mom.
In Halloween 6, she's an adult, but I think they implied that like she was kidnapped by a cult and maybe like artificially inseminated, aka, you know,
by Michael,
R-worded,
too,
right? By Michael, which is
uncle,
which might be her, which is like, it's just really fucking sloppy. Like,
that is rough.
It depends on what cut you watch, I think, too. But yeah, that's one of the cuts. It's like, And then she
That's
like dies, I
interesting.
think, at the beginning. So she was just there to give birth, I think, right? Or no?
No, because Paul Rudd saves her.
That's right. I was thinking he was the son of her, but that's right. He's like, what's his name?
He's a kid from the first
Fucking-
movie.
Yeah, he's one of the kids, and then
Tommy Jarvis, yeah.
Bill Loomis.
Whew. Yeah, it's always rough when it's just things that are sloppily thrown together, where it's just like you obviously just didn't really have an idea. Which brings me to where mine would be.
I was about to say, literally. Star
is
Trek.
episode 9 specifically.
Yeah.
The rise of Skywalker. I to this day I will always remain an adamant defender of The Last Jedi, as you know, it obviously has its flaws, but in my opinion, when you look at Star Wars in the scope of all the movies together and you're like comparing all of them, the filmmaking flaws in The Last Jedi are no worse than the filmmaking flaws that have occurred in basically every Star Wars film that are always looked over because it's Star Wars.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like no one, like a lot of people who love the original trilogies, they're not very critical of the original trilogies. Whereas when I grew up with the prequels, I was critical of the original trilogies. And one of the things that just kills me is episode 6 and its pacing. It's one of my least favorite Star Wars movies because of that. The pacing is like snail's pace sometimes.
Yeah.
They're just constantly going between Endor and the throne room over and over and over and over again. And
It feels like a 3-hour movie. I don't know how long it really is, but it always felt like a 3-hour movie. Yeah.
it feels so long.
Yeah.
But Last Jedi, I think, you know, it has its flaws. It has its little, you know, some story derailments. It gets a little lost in its continuity.
Yeah.
It uses a little bit too, relies on MacGuffins a little too hard. But at the end of the day, it did things that were new and exciting and, like, in my opinion, made a lot more sense when looking at larger scope of like story structure. It just made a lot of sense. It's
the last one that I like actually remember being excited for after it was like being like, oh, cool. Rey's not a Skywalker. Like,
I was so pumped.
New shit. Cool.
Like when they said that Rey was nobody, I was literally like, thank you.
Yeah.
That is such a good answer. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, because especially if you're in the space of Star Wars, just hearing people talk constantly about who's this son, who's the son of this, who's the father of this, who's the mother of this, and it's like,
Who came in who?
it literally basically,
Yeah.
and like it's just always so obnoxious. And it was obnoxious because I detested the idea that people had to be the literal blood descendants of the Skywalker family to be important to the Skywalker saga. And I thought that was so interesting. And then it was all undone.
Yeah.
It was all rewritten, and they were like,
a
"Oh no,
stupid degree
actually,
too."
yeah,
Somehow,
like really badly."
Palpatine has returned.
So
Yeah.
the greatest, those 3 lines, like those 3 words literally echo in my mind when I think about the Star Wars trilogy.
Yeah.
Somehow Palpatine's returned. He doesn't even have to say has.
Isn't
It's 3
it
words?
Isn't it like there's actually lore in Fortnite, in his appearance in Fortnite, that's
Yes.
actually key
Yeah.
to the movie?
I watched it. So like,
What is it?
basically when he takes over Exegol and he reawakens the Hidden Fleet, he sends out a communication across the entire Republic / First Order that says, "I am back. I never left. I am retaking control of the Empire, and like basically surrender or you will be destroyed."
God, who gives a shit? God, that's so
Yeah.
And he gives like a speech, and he sends it out over
over Fortnite.
holowaves.
Yeah.
And it was watchable in Fortnite, and it just was the most just asshole lazy, like basically someone just took a sheet that said focus group, what are your favorite characters from Star Wars? Emperor's the top. All right, it doesn't matter what we got to do. Emperor's coming back in episode 9 because people are so angry about episode 8.
Yeah.
Which is kind of sad because honestly it's like the Star Wars fandom kind of ruined its own movie trilogy because it was being done bit by bit.
Off the
If
cuff.
if it wasn't being done bit by bit, it would have been avoidable because it would have been too late but they decided that Disney decided there's never too late. They can course change everything.
I think that's been a
always.
problem with a lot of the movies now, franchises now. It's like MCU, look at Halloween, I'm sure Exorcist, they like plan these like trilogies or even more and don't plan for them. They just were like, we're going to do 3 Star Wars. We'll figure it out as we go. We're going to do 3 Halloweens. We'll figure it out as we go. You know, MCU, same thing.
Yeah.
It's honestly crazy.
It's
but
weird.
Yeah, that's my most sour for sure. Where it's just like the amount of potential that was wasted. I was so excited after Last Jedi. I became like a fan theorist for like a good year, where I was like online on the Reddits and shit, like theorizing with people, like posting different things and things that I found that could lead to what they might do, because it left itself in such a weird place that they could do so much with it after that.
Yeah. Oh,
and
yeah.
then they just backpedaled it all.
Hell yeah.
Right where we started off. My favorite thing.
Oh yeah, that's why I'm here, just to see the same thing I've already seen 1,000 times.
Yeah.
I love it.
But that is something I'm appreciative of the shows now. I think, telling the whole Thrawn series, it has been really nice. It's been really nice to like kind of see some story take place away from the central plot of the original Star Wars. So
Yeah.
that's been really sick. Any other sequels that could have been good?
None. Well, I'm sure there's a bunch more. I could only think of some that are great, that outdo the original.
Oh,
But I don't know if that's something you got. If you
we could
wanted
definitely
to,
touch on that. Yeah, I'd be happy to touch on things that were dramatically improved by their sequel.
So
Oh, sorry, I guess while on the topic of like things that shouldn't be sequels or exist. This is kind of tangential. This is an Italian film series, and Italians love fucking renaming shit. So there's a series it's called Demons. It's basically like Evil Dead, but like Italian. It's cool.
Right.
There's 2 of them. The first one's 85, next one's 84. Sorry, 86. Yeah, we're backwards. And then there's like
some skill.
Yeah, a lot of planning. They did the Star Wars method, but they did like a spiritual successor, basically called The Church, which some places calls Demons 3 The Church in 89. But in Italy, they do this thing where it's like they'll take a movie that's like tangentially related, even if it's just because it's the same director or it's just no fucking reason, and they'll name it after. So I'm gonna read through the list real quick. So you have Demons 1, 2, like I said, The Church. So Demons 3, The Church, 89. You have Demons 3, The Ogre in 88. You have Demon 3, Black Demons in 1991. You have Demons 4, The Sect, 1991, which is called a movie called The Sect. You have Demons 5, The Devil's Veil in 89. Demons 6, The Black Cat, which is a movie called The Black Cat, which is actually a sequel to Suspiria in a sense, but not really. And then Demons 95, Della Muerto della Muere, which is 94, which is also known as Cemetery Man, which Gibbledang should know. That was renamed as Demons 95.
what the fuck?
So
No shit.
I think I love
And these movies have like nothing to do with each other.
most of them. In fact, Cemetery Man has no demons in it. It's not even written by the same director, I don't think, or anything. So I don't know. Maybe it is. I don't know. I don't know where the connection is.
Just utter confusion.
It's literally a thing in Italy where, like, back in the day, where they're like, we can, like they like will take a property and kind of fit it, like Hellraiser. They'll turn it to Hellraiser or something like that. Like, we have a script that's like similar. Italy, they're just like, just fucking throw on Dawn of the Dead 2. Yeah,
Hey, Luigi. No.
You're like, that was good enough. But yeah, I just thought, like,
You forgot a
That's
few
it, you get
bibbity
it.
boppities there.
yeah, where's the Goombas and the Gabagoos, But yeah, that was just like, that was the Demons franchise. I just wanted to share that little tidbit where probably shouldn't have been fucking called the Demons, but at the same time, it probably helped sell the fucking tickets. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Fuck me, I guess.
Fun enough, you bring up Evil Dead, and I could go on and on and on about Evil Dead 2.
And Boneyard.
But I definitely think, and Boneyard. So I definitely think that Evil Dead 2 surpasses Evil Dead 1, which it's funny because they made, Sam Raimi, Bruce Campbell, they made Evil Dead 1, but they made it under a different studio. So when they were able to make a sequel, they didn't have any of the rights to their original movie. So I think the first one is called The Evil Dead. I want to say the second one is just called Evil Dead 2 Dead by Dawn. But they basically were like, oh, let's take the events of the first Evil Dead movie, condense it, retell some of it to and make like a 13 minute intro that basically just recaps the first movie. Once you hit like the 15 minute mark, that's when basically the sequel starts. But that's when it incorporates like so much more of the classic, like, well, I think just a lot of tentpole like horror tropes and things that, you know, different horror films of the 80s and 90s tried to replicate. Yeah, I think Evil Dead 2 was a big catalyst for that, for like the horror movies that we saw in the 80s kind of going forward.
Makes a lot of sense.
That, and then another kind of horror movie, more of a comedy, Gremlins 2. Gremlins 2 is way, I think that's definitely a stronger movie than the first Gremlins movie, for sure. It's very meta. I think it's super meta. I like it pokes a lot of fun at itself to the point where like there kind of wasn't a way to make a sequel because there was no way to really top Gremlins 2. It was a lot of fun. It foretold a lot of like things that are happening in the future, or like that are happening now for some reason, like smart TV and like smart products and like multi-complex buildings with like, well, that's not fucking, what am I getting at? Like different studios, different like multimedia channels in like, I don't know, just a lot of it was kind of like
oddly prescient.
ended up being right. Yeah. Really funny too, but I hold those two sequels in high regard for sure.
Makes sense. For me, one that's definitely is like Legend of Korra is a follow-up that I think really improved. Like, it didn't improve upon it. I don't think it was like a better version. I think that as a whole, when you combine it with what was in Avatar: The Last Airbender, it creates a really, really nice, fleshed out
Companion.
world. Yeah, it's a great companion series. And I've always been particular to Legend of Korra because I always thought it was really good. And season 3 of Legend of Korra is probably some of the best cartooning.
Like topped.
It is.
Best
absolutely chef's kiss, hit the nail on the head, like what I wanted to see when they did season 3. So it's my opinion. If anybody's ever watched Avatar: The Last Airbender and you've been hesitant to watch Legend of Korra, I would recommend it because I think it's absolutely worth visiting and worth like seeing a new person take on that role, and like just seeing the evolution of the characters was really cool.
I feel like a lot of people I like that show, and yet I've not seen it.
I recommend. It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Bad friend. No, it's just
True.
too much shit to watch, personally. That's all.
That's
I do need
always
to get
true.
to it. It's
There's
like on
always
the
too
list.
much to watch.
I'll say for sequels, maybe, I don't know if this is like a hot take or whatever, but Led Zeppelin 2 is better than Led Zeppelin 1. I like their second album much better than their first. Not much better. It's a lot better in my opinion.
I
will also have to trust you. I believe, same here.
I'm not a big album person. I'm more of like random songs that stick in my head, go into a playlist, and then I have no idea what albums or when in the discography they're from.
They fall. Really. I used to be a bigger Zeppelin head and
Lead head.
Yeah, never really got into Led Zepp, unfortunately, but I'll have to take your word on that.
Yeah, it's just like their albums I've like increased. I mean, honestly, I was thinking of like just you could do any album, I guess technically, but I was like, no, I kind of want to stick with like 2 or 3 or 4, like a numbered one, because I mean, otherwise I'd pick a different
Mega
album.
Man 2. Better than Mega Man 1.
Awesome. Spider-Man 2.
Terminator 2.
Terminator 2, hands down. Aliens.
Terminator.
Nice.
Yeah.
Titanic 2. Lots of good stuff. Like Titanic 2, 100%.
All these, all these James. Honestly, actually, we can get one going.
But here's the real question, because I also have a fun little couple of games, interactive activities having to do with sequels as well.
Ooh.
So the first one I'm gonna
Nice.
do is it's just called Pitch That, and what it's gonna be is
Okay.
I have 6 titles of pre-existing movies, and I'm going to have each of you one at a time give me a number 1 through 6, and then whichever one you say, you'll get that title,
Oh, nice.
and then you need to pitch that sequel. So like, what's gonna happen? You know, where are we gonna pick up?
So
These are real movies.
okay, so these are real
that have
movies.
never had a
and then
sequel.
we make a sequel.
Okay.
Okay.
So here we go.
Similar,
This
but yeah,
is gonna
go.
be fun because some of these you could see, like, kind of see it. Some of these you'd have to search for it. So I'm gonna have Gibbledang go
Stretch.
first. So give me a number. Give me a number between 1 and 6.
Yeah.
2.
2. All right. So your movie is Napoleon Dynamite. Pitch that.
Oh my
sequel.
god. So all right. So okay, so it's the future. It's now times. It doesn't even. You don't know. You just pick up. It's the White House. Pedro has become president. They've completely voted for Pedro to become president.
Amazing.
He's
Nice.
the first non-U.S. born resident to become a
Just
president.
overwhelming majority. the
That's how good he
public
was. Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone's like the country is thriving. And who's at the top of the Secret Service? Fucking Napoleon Dynamite right there. So it's actually gonna be like a big sci-fi conspiracy caper where Napoleon kind of realizes that there are aliens and he has to be like, oh god, all these flipping aliens, I gotta like something or the other, and
Eat your food. He serves
And
them
so-
for human food, and he's like, "Eat your food, alien."
So yeah. So an
Ugh.
alien crash lands and in Napoleon's backyard, and Napoleon's like, okay, so that's
Who plays the
how it
alien?
happens. This is how it happens. Napoleon is the leader of the Secret Service or
Mhm.
whatever. Pedro's president.
Yeah.
Napoleon is at home on his farm, his farm mansion, where he lives with that one girl. What's her name? Liv or
Debbie,
something?
I think.
Debbie.
Deb.
So he lives with Deb, and yeah, they hear like a crash in their backyard, and like they go back there, and like there's like a little pod where like this like little alien pops out, and it's like oh, and like Napoleon's like, what the hell, like what do I do? And like they put it in a cage and like
Bring it to Pedro.
God, speak English.
yeah, they give it to Pedro and they're like, look what we
Nice.
Yeah, and I don't want to give too much away.
That's a good one. I like that. It could be called. It
I
could
love that
be
one.
Called.
Yeah.
The title could literally just be "Vote for Pedro."
Napoleon Tunamite.
It's like,
Yeah.
Oh, actually, that's good.
Oh, Pedro. Oh,
Pedro Pascal plays Pedro, grown up.
amazing.
no, Pedro Pascal plays the alien.
There it is. Yeah, he's very serious alien, but he just looks like a person. He's just like,
Yeah, he's very sexy. Yeah.
all right. So Dala, your turn. You can't pick 2 because it's already been picked. So
Yes,
give me a
yes.
number between 1 and 6.
Dang. 2.
You
I'm
lose.
just kidding.
Yeah, there actually wasn't a way to lose this, but you lost.
Yeah, you found a way.
Yeah, you found it. Damn. Sick. 2.5. So I get half of each. I'll do the 6.
6. All right. Your movie is
Hopefully
going
it's
to
something
be
I've seen.
District 9.
Oh man, the alien
Cool,
movie.
movie I've never seen. The one I've never
Fuck,
seen.
so
Okay,
this one's going to be about Napoleon
we
Dynamite.
know. Yeah. So yeah, there's an alien lands, and this fucking nerdy white guy with curly hairs like talking to him and trying to feed him human food. It's so stupid. He's like, "What the fuck? I don't know."
He's obsessed with tater tots.
Clearly, the aliens in District 9 love cat food.
Nah, now it's tater tots.
Yeah. Okay, so again, like I said, I didn't see District 9, so we'll call this one District 10.
Nice.
It's actually gonna take place in the Hunger Games world, so it's like a crossover.
Crossover.
Yeah. So he lives. The alien will live in District 10, which we all know is because each district has its own thing.
That's the butthole
That one's the
sniffing
love
one,
one.
right?
Yeah, the butthole and love, because this alien, he's a fish out of water kind of guy, and it's a rom-com, that's just gonna bump into some young woman. Maybe it's Zendaya.
Oh
my god! Ugh.
So the main alien character, who is an insect
Yes.
thing, he's gonna date
Yeah.
Zendaya or Zendaya.
Basically,
I buy that.
yeah. And
She's already
then
dated one bug.
there's-
Ba-doom-tsh.
Ooh, actually, that'll be the tagline. You've seen Zendaya and you've seen her date one bug, but have you seen her date this bug? And it'll be him in a suit, looking like,
Oh
oh.
wow! So District 10 is a
Um,
wacky a romance comedy.
A wacky
rom-com.
rom-com. Yep.
Yeah, the crux is that Zendaya's character is trying to get drafted into the Hunger Games. So he's
That's
trying to,
right, I forgot it's in the
God,
Hunger.
what do I do?
Hunger Games.
So it's
I
so it's really it's Hunger Games 6 District 9 2 District
I like
10.
they're like, you gotta make a sequel to the District 9. It's like, well, I haven't seen District 9, but I've seen Hunger Games, so anyways.
I actually haven't even seen Hunger Games either, so that's even better. But I know Hunger Games,
Okay.
Perfect. All right, let's
yeah, that's my.
that's perfect. I think
movie.
that'll sell, honestly. I think someone will pick that up. All right,
Yes.
so Gibbledang, you can't choose now 2 or 6. So 1, 3, 4, or 5.
3.
3. All right, your movie is going to be Step Brothers. Step Brothers.
Okay.
Pitch
Oh,
that
man.
sequel.
So, I'm gonna forego pitching a sequel. And I think I want to talk about what their actual plans for a sequel was before. I don't know if it got canceled or if if it just never happened. But it was gonna be the Step Brothers. They I forgot. Do they both fall in love at the end of the movie?
Yeah.
Yes.
Because one
think
falls,
so.
one falls
yeah.
in love with his therapist, and the other one steals his brother's wife.
His brother's wife, yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think what it was that they both end up breaking up with them, or getting divorced or whatever it was, and they end up living together, and I think they end up adopting kids, or they have to raise each other's kids or something like that. But basically it was like stepfathers. Instead of it was stepbrothers, it was like
okay.
stepfathers.
Okay.
That was the whole
Huh.
I think it was something like that. Something about them adopting kids, or having to the joke would have been them raising the children or whatever.
Right.
I don't get it. Why would they have to? But all right.
I don't know.
Is that what you would do, though? Is that what you would
Yeah.
do?
Is that what your heart would do?
Unless well, shit. No, that's it. That's what I'd do too.
Okay.
I would steal their idea.
Yeah, they pretty much hit it on the head. I think they got it.
I mean, yeah, that's a pretty good idea,
solid.
honestly.
Yeah. All right, well then, Dala,
Yeah, fair.
you got 1, 4, and 5 still.
2. Just kidding. I'll take 1. Let's see what the both ends have.
All right. 1 is Beetlejuice.
Well, I mean, it's getting a
nice.
sequel.
The movie I've never seen. No, just kidding. Yeah, actually, they are right.
In fact, I think I actually posted the first.
They're gonna make a Beetlejuice
There's a-
sequel.
Yeah, I think it might be done
Well,
filming.
because mine's gonna be so good. Yeah, mine's gonna be so good.
Gymleadernate, check my
Exactly.
check my Instagram story. That's so
no googling. The heck.
It's so funny because 3 hours ago I posted I guess there's the first picture of Michael Keaton as Beetlejuice in part 2 leaked.
Oh, that's what that was. Dang.
And which is fucking crazy.
Oh, it's not there
In
anymore.
Beetlejuice 2, I guess he's gonna have a wife who's gonna be played by Monica Bellucci, like a fucking Italian supermodel, like absolutely gorgeous, super funny.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know, it just throws me off.
Hmm.
I wonder if she's just gonna be
I
like a
love that.
normal looking person, or if she's gonna be a ghoul or something.
So for my sequel, don't watch that one. That
Yeah,
one's
don't
trash.
watch it, don't
My
watch it.
sequel is gonna
Be
be
the better one.
Yeah, it'll be the better one. I think it'll be I'm trying to remember where we left off with the original. I mean, like the house is owned
Head
and
shrunk.
shit. Maybe it'll just be the kids. Yeah, the kids of Winona Ryder. And it'd be one of those ones where it's like she still lives in the house. She has the kids. It's kind of like, oh, mom, you're so boring. Like, oh, and then they play in the attic, and then they find like basically they summon Beetlejuice on accident. You know, they find like words written down somewhere where it says like, oh, what does this say? It's like Beetlegeist, and like, no, you fucking dumb idiot, Sarah. It's me, your brother, and he reads it correctly.
Kurt,
yeah, then
brother
Beetlejuice.
Kurt.
Yeah. So Beetlejuice will come out, shrunken head, and basically the plot will be like, I'm gonna like fucking take one of your guys' heads instead. Actually, maybe that's what he'll take the brother's head and he'll be like, this will be my new head. Unless, you know, to the sister, like, you convince your mom, like, I'm still, like, trying to get at her, you know?
Nice.
Like, he's, like, that deadbeat guy that never moved on from, like, high school crush.
Amazing.
So, yeah, that'll be the plot. Mine's much better.
100%.
In theaters soon.
I would love a Beetlejuice movie where you spend an hour and a half with Michael Keaton, but his head is tiny the entire time.
Yes.
Yeah,
I mean, if that's not
absolutely.
what we're getting already for the sequel, I'm not going to go see it.
Yeah. You're going to leave the first 30 minutes if you don't see a small head on him for those 30 minutes.
I don't need to sit through regular head size
Regular
Michael
size.
Keaton.
Yeah, what the hell? No voice, like, changers? What the hell?
Lame. All right, last ones. We still have
We have 2 more.
4 and 5 left. So between the last 2,
Okay.
Gibbledang, which one would you choose?
4.
4 is going to be Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Fuck.
So
Damn it.
I believe there is a book sequel to it, but
There's plenty.
it's a whole universe. But
Okay.
Yeah.
you don't have to follow the books. You can do whatever you want. But for the movie universe, the you know, the Hitchhiker's cinematic universe.
I've only seen that movie like maybe once or twice, so I don't really remember it. But if it could take place in the universe, basically, I would have it be on Earth, like in the like future, super future, very dystopian, where like all these like young adults would have to participate in like these games where like they would have to like hunt or kill each other for like sport, and it's all like publicized
districts.
and there's all these different alien districts in there too somewhere.
That's a pretty good one.
But basically, there's this girl who
Ooh, you lost me.
there's a guy in there too. Don't worry.
Okay, cool. You're bringing us back. Cool. How many guys,
There's
though?
a lot. There's one guy who's like really short
Okay,
and
more
gets
guys,
covered
cool.
in rocks, and then there's another guy
okay.
whose brother is Thor. Anyways,
The real question is, do either of them bake?
Yeah.
no, but Mystique is in the movie. Mystique is
Nice.
she's in the movie.
Which Mystique?
From X-Men?
Both?
Yeah.
No. Which, like, the 2000s or, like,
Well, that's
the
Jennifer
first
that's a
Lawrence?
spoiler. I
Yeah.
can't. I don't want to say it. That's gonna be a spoiler.
You gotta
It's a-
find that
yeah,
out.
Yeah,
when
you find that
arrive.
out when you watch the movie.
the trailer. The trailer's just always the back, so you don't know which one it is.
Perfect.
You're like, oh, which Mystique?
And then somewhere in the galaxy, Marvin, the robot, is writing a guide on how to hitchhike throughout the nip. It. Yeah.
It.
Nice.
Ah, yes, the great expansive it.
Also, didn't Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy start with the Earth exploding?
It did.
Well, this is
Well,
the
by the
future.
end of the first, one, they create Earth 2.
Yeah, this is the.
It's an exact.
Okay.
It's
Oh,
an
for Jason.
Yeah, it's an exact copy of
Jason
Earth
X.
from the moment before it exploded.
Where it exploded. That's
Yeah.
right. Okay. Yeah, so Jason X is on that.
Yeah, there you
planet
go.
now, too.
That
Perfect.
explains everything. All right.
The one thing missing to tie it all together.
All right, so that
What's my movie?
That's the last one. So that means we're on the titular movie, which is going to be I Am Legend.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say I am Sam.
And yours
Is that mine?
sequel to
yours
I
is
Am
going
Sam
to be 12
instead.
Years a Slave.
Oh
Please
my
give me a
God.
sequel to 12 Years a Slave.
Okay, so this one's called 13
Okay.
Years a Slave.
Yeah.
Yeah. 1 extra more year. Oh man.
12 more years, or 12 years a slave 2, 12 more years.
Yeah, 12 more years.
do it.
14
You
years.
do it like
a
the
slave,
Lion
'cause
King,
it's
and
plus
you do
2.
like 12 and a half years. 12.5.
12.5. Nice. This is so. Wait, what did I have? Is it mine? Right?
Yeah, yours is I Am Legend.
Okay. I am legend. Okay. Part of me was just like, okay, so there's districts.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, to be fair, there's a
But they're
new
legendary
isn't there a new Hunger Games
districts.
movie coming out? Yeah. No, so what happened was so this is a sequel of I Am Legend. I forget what is it. Didn't they think they killed all of the vampire ghoul people?
Well, it depends on which
Or-
ending you go with too.
Okay.
The theatrical ending, they blow up the tribe of zombies or
Vampire
vampires that are
dudes.
after them,
Yeah.
and then Will Smith dies, and they get the cure to
The
the
girl.
resistance, basically.
Gotcha.
But in the altered one, which is a little more like a fan favorite. A lot of people consider that the real ending because it's more close to how the original story ended. He like figures out that the vampire things are sentient, and he like is able to return the one he has and he's been experimenting on is like the alpha's chosen mate, and if he gives her back, like they like pull away and they back off.
They like
And,
chill out.
yeah, and then it ends with all of them driving to the
The Will Smith and the vampire and the
and the
and
vampire.
kid.
They're buddies
Just
now.
all- Hey, what's
It's
up?
like-
There's
So
your
that'll
sequel.
be my ending.
It's one of those
that I'm gonna go off.
It's one of those where it's like, oh my god, I am the legend. The legend is that I'm an asshole. Like that's
It's
what it
all of
basically-
us. We're all the
Yeah.
legend. It's not I. It's we are the legend.
They are making a sequel to that too,
yeah,
I
so-
guess.
They
But they're
are.
using
They are.
they're
Nice.
bringing Will Smack
the alternate ending.
Will Smith back, of course.
Alternate.
I called him Will Smack.
Yeah.
Will Smith.
Shit. What a
Basically.
good.
Yes, he will.
Yeah.
So the vampire's gonna say his new wife's name, and he's gonna walk up and just like slap the shit
Well,
out
it's
of
because all the
vampire.
vampires gonna be bald,
And
and
it's
he's
gonna-
gonna be like, "Are you mocking my wife?" And he's gonna
Yeah.
smack all of them.
Yeah, smack him. And actually, that's the cure. Is he finds if he smacks him hard
Yeah,
enough,
it's
they
Will
he
turn
can smack
back
the
to
vampire out of
slaps.
him. Whoa.
Nice.
Yeah, so he has to. So he goes around the world just smacking vampires.
Okay, so the episode is called Will Smack.
Will
I already
Smack.
know the thumbnail.
I Am Legend 2. I Am Legend 2. Will Smack.
I am Will Smack.
Oh,
He's just-
Amazing.
I love the idea of him just walking around, getting driven around, walking
Pull
with
over, pull
vampires,
over,
just
pull
smacking
over,
the
pull
shit out of
over. He runs out the car.
I see one. I
we got
see
another-
one.
we
I
got
see
another.
one. Got him.
He runs up, tackles just to smack the shit. Oh fuck! All right, I can't top that. So
Well, on
that's
that note,
the
shit.
sequel.
I think you hit it. That one's pretty
yeah, I
pretty
smacked
solid.
it pretty well.
Smack it out of the park.
Yeah.
You
Smacked it on the
smacked
head.
it right in the face. All right.
Nice.
There
Good.
is-
Thanks, Gib. Thanks for the support. Yeah.
There is one final section though to our little game here. This one's
Yeah.
just going to be a quick quiz called "How Many," and
Ooh, nice.
I'm going to
Okay.
name
Can I Google?
I'm going to name a series. No Google.
Yeah.
No Googling or
Damn.
binging.
Okay. Firefox.
I'm going to name a series, and you're going to have to tell me how many installments exist in that series.
Cool.
Does that include?
I'll specify if it includes all of their media or if it's like just their movies or just something like that.
Okay.
So,
Question. I guess if it's all media, if it's like, there's nothing like TV. If it's TV shows, is it seasons, not episodes or something?
it would be like shows, like a show from its
How many
beginning to its end
Gotcha.
would be one installment.
Spin-offs.
Yeah.
and stuff. Okay, gotcha.
So the first one we're going to start with, so you guys can bing in when you
Gotcha.
when you know the answer, and when you're guessing, it's also going to be Price is Right rules. So both
Oh,
people,
is that going over?
so one person gets a guess first, whoever bings in, but the other person still gets a guess, and whoever if the first person like didn't get it right on, the next person gets a guess, and then
Gotcha.
whoever's as close as they can be without going over gets the point. Okay.
Gotcha.
So the first one is how many installments are there into the Aladdin
Oh,
series? total installments.
Bing.
Oh, Gibbledang.
So are we counting the remakes too?
We are.
I think there are 4, baby.
That is correct. There's 4. So Gibbledang is going to get 1 point here.
Ooh.
All right. So we're going to move on to our next one. Next one is a lot of people do know this off the top of their head, but how many Fast and the
Bing.
Furious movies are there?
Bing.
Yeah. Gibbledang got binged in again.
What?
He, he did.
X.
No, there is 11.
Oh,
11.
That's correct. There are
Wait.
11 movies.
Okay, I changed my answer.
No.
You forgot Hobbs and
Of
Shaw, my
course,
man.
I know.
So
How could I?
Dala gets that
Duh.
point, and it's going to be 1-1 now because there are 11 total Fast and Furious movies. So the next series is Saw.
Ding.
Bing.
Yep, Dala.
I'm gonna say 12.
I'm
12.
gonna.
Because it's yeah.
All right. So I from what I have researched, that is incorrect. So
Okay.
I'm not gonna tell you like how
Bing.
close or if you're over
More.
or under.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
We're just gonna see. We're just gonna see what
Yeah.
Gibbledang says. 13.
Yeah. Because there's
All right.
Spiral, there's Jigsaw,
Yeah, and then 1 through
1
10.
through 10, and there might be one more.
That's why I was saying 12. Unless Jigsaw
think I didn't
is
see-
number 9.
I was about to say, I think I didn't see Spiral, so I had it down as 11. So if I didn't count Spiral,
So
then
that
that
would be
means it
Dala.
would be 12. Yeah, so
Yes,
Dala gets
yes.
that one.
Okay. Because I was about to say, like,
Yeah.
wait, what?
Yeah,
Okay.
when I was counting up the movie titles, I did not see Spiral on that list. So
That's the one
I
with
think
It's fine.
The
No one saw
titular
Spiral.
Chris Rock, who got slapped by the titular Will
Who got
Smack.
slapped?
Will Smack in the flesh.
That's who the Jigsaw in that one is. It's
It's just Will Smith's hand.
Hands, yeah.
All right, so that is all right. So it's now 2-1, and the next one's going to be, this is going to be book series.
Oh, fun.
Well, something that I know, but I don't think you guys have read. Just to see if you
Probably
guys know.
not. A
So,
book? Yeah, never.
How many books are there in the Aragon
Percy Jackson.
Bing.
book series?
Oh,
Oh,
damn,
yes,
yeah.
Gibbledang.
5?
5
I
is
was-
incorrect.
Ooh, I was gonna actually say, because you talked about it last time. Fuck, I want to say it was like 8. I think because you mentioned there was like a bunch more than I remembered.
So your answer is 8?
I'll go 7 just in case.
All right.
Yeah.
The correct answer is, as of 2 weeks ago, 6.
Ooh.
So Gibbledang
Damn.
will get the point because
Thanks.
closest
Yeah.
without going over. Yeah, they there's the first series was a cycle of 4 books.
Damn, though, they're still doing it.
And then
Damn.
they
Yeah.
made a book of short stories that was an official sequel to those. And then now they've made another book that just came out like 2 weeks ago.
Aragon 3.
This one's just called Murtagh. The name of another character.
Yeah,
in
I was
the
gonna say, aren't they
series.
all? Yeah.
Really, it was just his was the only one that had a title that was just his name was Aragon. Everything else had one word titles that were just like kind of stoic. And then now they decided to make a kind of companion that's to Aragon. That's Murtagh. All right.
Nice.
So it is 2-2. We're tied up. Next question is, how many total installments are there in the Charlie's Angels franchise?
Buzz.
Yeah.
Oh wait, do we? Are you counting just the movies?
No. This one's
Oh
total
my God.
installments. So it's not anything that's in TV form is not by season. It's just by show.
Series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By
So I'm
series.
gonna say 5. I think there might have been 2 shows and 3 movies.
You are exactly correct. There are a total of
Yeah.
5, 2 shows, and 3 movies. And it
That's
has been
nice.
confirmed that all of the movies are subsequent sequels
Canon.
of the same storyline started from the show.
You know, it's funny. I forgot the newest one. Yeah.
Yep, with Kristen Stewart.
Yeah. I knew there was 3 movies, but I was like, oh, there must have been like a straight to VHS. No, it should have probably been, but
It
yeah.
probably could have been.
Yeah.
All right, so it is now 3-2. We have only 2 more left. The next one is going to be the books again. How many books are there in Stephen King's Dark Tower series?
Buzz.
Yeah.
So you could take that if you want to start. I have a follow-up
9?
question, but
Sure.
I'll wait.
Okay. That is incorrect, so we will get Dala's guess.
Follow-up question.
Yeah.
Dark Tower series particularly, is that including the like things that were connected, kind of like MCU status?
No, this
Or are
would
we
be
just
this would
counting?
be the center. Yeah, the center series called where everything is a part of the Dark Tower series.
And are we counting the comic books? Probably
No,
not.
this would be novels. Stephen King's original novels.
I will say, Gibbledang said 9?
Yeah.
I'll say 5.
5. All right.
Yeah.
The answer is 8. So
Yeah.
technically Dala gets that one because it's
Nice.
closest without going
That's
over.
why I did such a low note. It's
Whack.
like, should I do 2 or 1? I was like, yeah.
All right. So that leaves us. It's a tie score, 3-3.
Ooh.
Ooh.
That leaves us to the last one, which we did mention earlier in the podcast. So, how many movies are there in the Alien
Buzz.
franchise?
Ding.
Yep, Gibbledang.
Yeah.
Oh man, if I get it wrong, I'm gonna frustrate
That's a
you
ding.
so much. Okay, let's see.
Me? Yeah.
And I believe I'm correct, but we'll discuss at the end just to be sure. He's really thinking.
Can I steal it?
He's like, it's
going
gonna
It's taking too long.
besmirch me.
To say
Yeah, is there no
There
timer? What the
are-
heck?
6.
Okay. And that is incorrect. Dala, do you know how many there are total?
Okay. Alien movies itself? Just Alien?
Not
Should be
necessarily
5?
not necessarily just called
No, I'm-
Alien, but
No, but there's in the okay, so there's 5 Alien, then there's 2 AVPs.
Mhm.
Oh, I did not
So,
even count Alien versus
wait.
Predator. Yeah.
That's Sorry, what was it? 5, 6, 7. I'm gonna say 7.
All right.
If it's just Prometheus. If you're counting Prometheus, that's
Yeah.
8. But
It's
If not-
it's in the Alien universe,
Okay.
and it took place. Yeah, it was made
Yeah,
after
so 8.
Alien. So
that's why I was like, I'm forgetting something.
yeah, the correct answer is 9. 9 total movies
nice.
in the Alien universe. So Dala gets the last point for being closest.
Wait, what's the 9th one?
I
Let's
couldn't
go.
tell you. I looked up the original. Like I just looked up the list and just went down.
There's a new
Bit
one.
by bit.
New one coming out. Alien Romulus.
Oh,
They might
that's
be
probably
including
like
that
counting
one,
that one. That's probably.
It might have.
yeah.
It was just like the wiki, the like Alien franchise wiki. So,
Gotcha.
I always want to like resort to
Yeah.
those because I forget easily. So,
You're good. Honestly, I was kind of considering the Predator movies too, because I'm like, if you count AVP, do you count Predator like 2, and then you got to
no, it's
So
got to
that's
be
all I was
about
like,
Alien.
Yeah, they are aliens.
All right. Well, that is the end of how many,
Yay!
and Dala is our winner.
Wahoo.
Can I do a bonus question?
Yeah,
want a
what's the
bonus point?
Yeah.
Okay, bonus one. How many episodes of KDI? How many sequels? Just kidding.
Ugh.
10.
Looking
kidding.
to the future, there's approximately 300. Buckle
Before
up.
we quit.
And then we're gonna quit. Yeah, we all retire. Nice. Yeah, nice.
No, this is just this year. Easy.
That was fun. That was fun. I liked that a lot. Thank you, Gymleadernate.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. So
Yeah.
that's all I had for today. I thought, I think it's been a really nice to talk about the topic though, because I feel like sequels are something that is so reactive for so many people too. It's so easy to kind of heighten how people feel about sequels because of their investment into the previous like installments. So
Yeah.
I figured most everybody has opinions about sequels in their lives.
I was gonna say, I think it's interesting too, depending on the medium, because like I feel like video game sequels are almost always like a improvement, where movies is more of a risk.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Typically,
it's very hard
Like
to.
there's-
I feel like it's very hard to whiff on a sequel
Video game.
Yeah, like cause
depends. Yeah,
It's
but
because
yeah.
for the most part, as long as they include everything they already did, it's like you're already
And more.
par.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. True.
I think the important things about sequels is that they need to build upon whatever experience you had with the first one. And they need to build upon it in a reasonable way that expands whatever happened in the first one. Because, yeah, I think that's where a lot of sequels flop, where it's like, why did we need it? Why did that happen? Things just happen for, I don't know, cash grabs.
Why are we telling this story? Yeah.
I was gonna say too, because like before recording, I was saying that some of my favorite stories end, and so I'm like, I don't know what I would want a sequel from. So it's a big risk for sure.
That's like it's like my favorite animes. A lot of my favorite animes are shorter run animes that either like got canceled or just came to a very abrupt end. Like Devilman Crybaby, it's just one season, beginning to end. Technically, it wasn't a franchise that had some other media to it, but that series was just a good series front to back, and then it was done. And it had to be done because there was no other way to continue it. But have you guys seen that one?
I think I tried watching.
No, I've wanted to.
I tried watching a bit of it, and it was a little too horny for me at first, and I think I kind of stepped away.
It is a little horny. It's I won't deny that, but still very interesting.
I was in similar vein. I would say like Cowboy Bebop or like Samurai Champloo, or like same where they're done. I wouldn't want to see a sequel. They're short, fun.
Exactly.
I mean, I guess they had a movie, but still.
Although I would, admittedly, now that I'm just realizing before we end, it would be nice to see Firefly back at some point in the future. And I don't think Nathan Fillion or any of the previous stars are that important. I think it's just a great universe, and you could just kind of reboot, like do new people and just use the universe. And I think it'd be, if done, that's always, if written right, but there's a lot of potential.
It's been long enough.
I never really, that was one I never had the chance to watch, but oh well.
Solid.
Big recommend just for like universe, like if you like universe and world building, like Firefly does a really cool job of making a very unique take on space and sci-fi. And I think the biggest thing that helps with that is just they decided right from the gate that they were going to do a huge like shift in style by basing the story off of the fact that like the ships that got humanity off of Earth were all controlled by the Chinese government. And so Chinese culture basically dominates human culture outside of Earth. So it's like something that made it very unique right from the get-go was that it was just a sci-fi series where they didn't blatantly like base everything on very Western styled civilization. And instead it was very, very different and looked, sounded, and treated itself different.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well,
speaking of sequels, if you want to see more of us, where could we maybe start with Gymleadernate? Where could they get more of you?
Yeah.
You handsome hunk.
Yeah, if you want more of me, you can always, my socials are always going to be Gymleadernate and Gymleadernate on everything. You can find me there. Not working on anything right now, but you can always draw me a follow if you want to stay tuned for future things like the podcast episodes that'll be coming out.
And I'm going to piggyback off of that. Same here. Not much to plug this week. Apart from my socials, Gibbledang, No Dumb Idea. Just kind of being lax this weekend. I guess I'll plug Magic the Gathering. Play that. Try a new hobby. It's very fun. What about you, Dala?
Yeah, I'll plug, my IG, Dala.r, the IG for No Dumb Idea. Give us a follow there, like and subscribe where you can. I'm just kidding. Follow us on like Spotify or your podcast app of choice. And take care of yourself. Happy. Be thankful for all the things you can. I will say that with the conflict going on over in Gaza, I don't know, not to get too political. I'm not your uncle, at Thanksgiving right now, but. I would say, be grateful for what's going on with, all the little things that you can and with yourselves, and take care.
100%. All right.
Have a good one, y'all.
Yeah.